Hey there, good morning, Big Brother Amazing Race and Survivor fans. It is me, Mike. It is May 2nd, Thursday. And I am going to talk briefly about those three shows as I watched all three of them last night. Last night was a Survivor episode and then an Amazing Race, and then I grabbed the most recent Big Brother. I have watched Sunday and last night's episode. I know what's going on. I'm up to date. So thought I would at least address all three shows. So we'll start off with Survivor. By the way, lots of spoilers. Not that there's anything, I don't know, these shows at this point. I guess I can't, other than what would have happened on the show for Amazing Race and Survivor, I'm just going to talk about what happened on the show. For Big Brother, I do know a little bit of advanced information about what should be happening tonight on their eviction show. On Survivor, it definitely to me seems like it has now become the jury, not the jury, but the immunity meeting, the voting off the island. The tribal council, that's the word I was looking for, those are words, has become the centerpiece of, the show. It would be fun to go back, 10 years and look at a episode, and I'm not going to do it, and figure out how long the jury portion was, and, it'll take place like at 10 till, you're going to get the jury. 10 till the top of the hour with 10 minutes left in the show, that's when you get the jury. Because now it's like 20 till. They're going to jury with 20 minutes left in the show. Because that's, what we've got going on. And then they're adding the peanut gallery of the extinction, edge of extinction people. They are the jury, but they aren't the jury because one of them may get a chance to come back in. And so they sit there and they're doing this, cheering for one and cheering for the other. They're just sitting there impassively. I don't know. It's fine. I'm enjoying the show for the most part, so I'm not being extremely critical. I'm just commenting on how it has changed. But then again, Big Brother changed when what's his name left and Grodner took over as kind of the head of the show. So it was okay. But, Devins is always Rick. When they call him Devins, I knew someone named Devin. So every time they say Devins, I think there's two people on the island named Devin, and they're talking about both of them. I just can't think that they should call him Rick. That's what they should call him. Devins is just odd for me. I know a first name Devin, so it just keeps messing with my brain. But it was the family visit. It was sweet and nice and tear jerky, and I did enjoy the fake immunity thing, and he had the backup one. I'm wondering if the actual process was, did he find the idol? So it's possible, and it's totally possible that it didn't happen this way. But think of it this way. What if he'd found the idol, and then Ron gave him the backup idol? But he already had it. If they edited it so that he actually had already had the backup idol first. I don't know this for a fact. I'm just saying this is where editing can come into play. In that it could have, it's very possible that he might have already found that second idol, or that he might have already found the actual idol before Ron gave him the fake thing. But he had fun with it. It was a fun little moment. I didn't get the editing made you think that, I don't know. I just didn't get, the voting didn't go quite as I expected. I thought Aurora was going to get more votes, and she didn't. And so anyways, I can't even remember his name. So point is, it was interesting. Good show. Enjoyed it. I don't know when they're going to get to this last person being able to come back in, or is it going to be that the final two is going to be one an Isle of Extinction person versus a person who, I don't know. I'm just not sure how they're going to do it. So, we wait to find out. We wait another day. And so, that was Survivor, which was immediately followed by Amazing Race. And much like my comments for last week's Amazing Race, I comments this week, it was like, so you start off, this is remember, I'm old school Amazing Race. I haven't watched it I've not watched a complete season for years. I mean years. Easily 6, 7, 8, 9 years I've not watched a complete season of Amazing Race. But I'm giving this one a swing. And as last week I watch it and they start off and everybody starts off and they're opening their envelope and this is what they're going to do. And at the bottom it says the time they're leaving their starting point. Well, there was no time this time. Why? Because it turned out they're all on the same flight. It was like, oh yeah, so we're all starting off. It's kind of a reset for us because we're all starting off at the same time. So, okay. So all that hard work to get an advantage of time is washed away because Amazing Race producers are now scheduling their flights. And they say, yeah, we put you all on the same flight. You don't have to find your flight. I get it in one way that they would say that most people don't care about that. Most people don't care about the struggles of trying to schedule a flight or work with people. I found that very interesting. And that's probably because of the way my brain works versus the average viewer who doesn't care about the details. They just want to see them yelling and screaming at each other and backstabbing and fighting. And if they get a chance to spread it out, like, one person gets a day ahead of the others, that's not as interesting. There's no chance for drama. So let's keep them all bunched up where they can all interact and fight. So that's my guess is why they're doing it. I enjoyed that part, though. I enjoy the actual, scheduling, figuring things out and getting ahead and maybe picking the right flights. And that's not there. So that's honestly, and I said it a little bit last week, and I feel even more strong about it this week. That really is probably one of the reasons that I started to lose interest in Amazing Race, because besides the fact that they started to the casting seemed to become very set for very very typical, and you didn't seem to have the average people being cast anymore. It was more of these characters that they wanted. And they may have been doing characters at the very beginning, but I just didn't notice it. But it's very apparent now. And so these are all things that just drive me bonkers. The odds of me being able to get on that show now are very slim, whereas I used to think I actually had a shot. And that was I've said it before, that is the one show that I actually considered applying for on a couple of different occasions. And I had a friend who's like, oh, we got to do Amazing Race. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? And, I would have gone and done it. If I knew I was a lock to get cast, I probably would apply still to this day to do Amazing Race. I really probably would. But I don't think I have a chance in hell, and so it's like, eh. And the guy that I said I would do it with, he probably has absolutely no interest at this time. And that was like, I couldn't see, like Useless Traffic, John, is not the person that I used to talk about this with, but, that's someone that I could say, hey, John, would you want to do it? He might say yes, but I don't think I want to do Amazing Race with John. The guy that I would do it with, we did a little cross-country drive one time back in the early 2000s, and we had a blast, and I know, we could handle that. His skill set and my skill set were just different enough that I think we would complement each other, and I don't think John and my skill set would. All right, I digress. Amazing Race, so, they kept them all, pretty close together in time, and they all finished up, and in the end, they, one team wasn't eliminated because guess what? It wasn't an elimination round. Okay, but now next week, are they gonna stagger them, or are they gonna let them all start together? And do they ever have to buy their own tickets anymore, or do they just give them? I think, and I think this has actually been this way for more than I remember. They probably stopped booking their own tickets probably season 3, and I just really remember that part of it. But as I recall now, previous seasons, at least several years ago, it'd be like the first 3 teams get this flight, the second 3 teams get this flight. But I remember when they would do that, it would be because these flights are so hard to schedule that we're doing it for them. Versus they could schedule their own flights for a lot of the legs. But there were occasional legs where it would be like, because it is... it's hard to get flights out of Vietnam to, Brussels, wherever, we've scheduled it, but the first 3 teams get this, the second 3 teams get this, and the third, 3 teams get this, and there's like a 2-hour stagger between them, and so there's just built-in lag time. All right, I've dug way deep into it. That's my point. I'd watch it. I am actually, here's my other thought too. So, the Big Brother teams. I don't got much of a read on Brittany and Janelle. I've said it before. I was a fan of Janelle's season 6 and part of 7, but not so much 14. I'm not a Janelle fan now. I don't dislike Janelle, but she's not doing anything for me. 6 was the season that was like her. We're all rooting for her because she was the underdog, and ever since then it's been like, she's okay. Brittany is still fun. I like Brittany. Nick and Vic, as they're called, Nick and Vic. I've noticed that Nick's doing all the talking, and that's probably a good thing. They're keeping Nick, that Vic is doing all the talking, and Nicole is very quiet. She just kind of makes facial expressions and nods and goes, yeah, right, yeah, oh yeah. That was, and that's probably a good thing, because most of us that have watched Big Brother know that Nicole is extremely annoying to listen to, and she's very whiny, and they've decided, I think the editors made a conscious decision not to annoy the Amazing Race public with Nicole. They've decided instead to do the Alyssa. Yes. The sisters, the Riley sisters. Yeah, annoying. But all right, whatever. They're eye rolls at each other, and I don't care. So yeah, that's my thought on Amazing Race. It's not been bad. It's okay, but it's not the Amazing Race that I recall from my older days. And then finally, because I am getting close to work, and I don't have a ton to talk about it, but I did watch Big Brother Canada. They're down to the final 5. I did like the Power Veto competition. That was kind of cool. Although it did seem to favor people with long arms. The taller people seemed to be at the advantage, and it did come down to the 2 tallest people. And so there was a definite advantage in this particular competition, where if you had longer arms, you could reach easier to grab things. I don't know if they adjusted things, but they actually had Mark, I think, saying that people with longer, taller people with longer reach had the advantage. And I always like to think they kind of even the playing field as much as they can in competitions. And this seemed to be a case where the playing fields were not even, and it favored Adam and Anthony, who were 1 and 2. Of course, there's all kinds of drama in the nominations, and I don't like Adam. Don't like Adam at all. He comes across as a total dick. He just does. And I know that I haven't watched the feeds, but I have kept tabs, and I know that they're all, like, Anthony's also kind of a bit of a big-headed, got a big, huge ego, and, that's fine. He's getting a better edit. Anyways, that's my thoughts on the Big Brother gang. They're pretty much, what's been shown on the what has not been shown, from my understanding from reports from other people, is that yes, indeed, Dane is not going. Mark is the one that's going to go tonight, and so it's going to be which is kind of weird because, well, the head of household, is it Kyra, said that I'm trying to do the right thing, wouldn't be able to beat either Dane or Anthony, or Dane or Adam in the end, and yet they're both going to be to the Final Four. So, we'll see. I would say that this season is still kind of sputtering to the end. That's the way it goes. Pardon me. I'm out walking, and so I'm gonna wrap this up. You guys have a good day, and I don't know when I'll talk to you next. We'll see. It'll be sometime in the next, maybe probably next week. All right. Take care. Have a good weekend. I will be golfing. I've never golfed before, and I'm doing a golf thing with some college friends. Should be interesting. All right, I'm out of here. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.